Alright, you bastards, this is Some-Belgian-prepper, and today I want to talk about the Defcon 5 bivi tent. And what's good about it, and what's bad about it, and why I'm putting it in my bug out bag. I will show you it all, but before we start, if you're interested in detective stories, there will be a link in the description to my book called Bloody Crosses, so if you're interested, take a look. Alright, the Defcon 5 bivi tent. Well, the thing is, this is something between a sleeping bag and a tent. So there are a lot of things on the market that you can have some sort of shelter for a very lightweight, compact size, and there are several options. I'm going to make videos about this, about a mountain bivy bag, about certain types of tents, but each one has their benefits and each one have their disadvantages. So what I'm going to propose is that is the balance between everything, in my opinion. It's light, it does not take much space for what you get from it. It's sturdy, it's durable, it's multifunctional in certain ways, which I'm going to talk about. And yeah, there are a lot of things you can do in different circumstances. So, first of all, like I said, it's very compact. There are straps on top of it that you can open up and you can close down, so then they are a little bit more compact, pressed together, but in my opinion I almost never use this. It was just to show you, but it weighs not that much in comparison to a lot of tents. For the size that it will take in your bug out bag, it not even weighs 1 kilogram, so it's like between 800 grams, 1 kilogram, so it's between those usually. But even when it's wet, it does not weigh that much. And what I like about this is you can set it up really fast. So I'm going to show you and what I also like is you can set this up even in a building. So you don't need actually a hard, some sort of ground area to put herrings, tent pitches in the ground. You can just plop it open and inside a building, beneath a shelter, beneath trees. I have slept with this in mountains, in the mountains in Norway, where there is rocky ground, and even then I just put it open and it was very compact, which is handy in the mountains because you don't want to carry that much. And I'm already very susceptible to altitude sickness, so yeah. Enough chatting, I'm going to show you. So what you do is you just take this off and you roll this open. These are the sticks. So now it's open. I don't know if you can see the whole side. I'm going to a little bit to the right. If you can see this. So now it's more like a bivy bag. So even when you would lose or break the sticks, now it's still possible to use as just a sleeping, a bivy bag that you put around your sleeping bag. So that's also a benefit of it. So the sticks, they get into each other very easily. They're a little bit magnetic. They go in very quickly. And the only tricky part is, because I'm an idiot, I often put it in the wrong holes. Not to, I know how this sounds, but you put this through like here. This one goes here. This one goes to the front. This one goes here through. This in this hole. see what I meant about being an idiot? I put it in the wrong holes, it seems. Yep, these are in the wrong holes. You see what I meant about being an idiot? But there we go. So now it's set up, and here is your head where you can stay in. And all you need to do now is open up the sides, open the zipper, and now you can open this and lay inside of it. It's a little bit tricky if you wear a lot of gear, but I'm going to tell you what I usually do with this. And you zip it close to the sides. I don't know if you can see me, but I can see the camera from here. So this is a quick setup that you can do. When it starts to rain, it's very handy that you can set this up in only 2 minutes, and there are certain things you need to watch out for if you're going to do it like this. Benefits are there is some mesh around here, mesh to this side, if you can see it. You can close this, and for this side the mesh closing off, so it's only here open. So in Norway I had warmth that was kept inside because of this, but there are several things that you need to watch out for. First of all, your bug-out bag will not fit in here in this. So what I usually do is, my bug-out bag is here at the front, where I can keep an eye from it from this mesh, and that way I usually connect it to one of the poles. So if somebody tries to grab my bug-out bag, I know it and I can directly jump out of it and kick his ass. So what I also do is I place my rain poncho over my bug-out bag so it does not get wet. So in these configurations I stay dry with only this 1 kilogram of weight and this small amount of volume. So, but there's still the problem of the cold ground. So what I did in Norway was I used a foam patch, a foam pad, something like this. And why did I use a foam pad and not a roll-up mat, a sleeping, a blow-up pad, or animal skin? Well, I'm going to talk about this in my video about why I prefer the foam pad. But the thing is, a foam pad is sturdier. You can just open this up and you can lay this open all the way inside of it. And now, like in Norway, when I was in the mountains where it was very cold and rocky and I slept on the rocks, with a foam pad, it was sturdy, it was, how to say this, it was enough insulation to keep me from the cold ground. That was never a problem. And with other foam pads, a roll-up pad, the problem is if you're going to roll it up, because it's so light, it will roll back always when you're moving too much or when you get out for a piss and go back in. So yeah, with the foam pad that you can fold, it just stays in place forever, and that's very good in my opinion. So another thing that I like is, because of the wire meshes around here, the mosquitoes did not get in. But although I was never stung in the mountains, yeah, mosquitoes in the mountains, I know, it was very weird. I've never seen so many mosquitoes in my life at the same place. They were all, and this is what I'm talking about, because it's so small, it gave off radiant heat, and mosquitoes are attracted to the heat and they will fly with all of them, because you're the only warm thing in the environment. They will all start to, you will hear this constantly against the side of your bivi tent, because they all try to get in and slam against it. So yeah, I was really annoyed by the constant collisions of the mosquitoes. So I had to put in earplugs, because earplugs, I mean, because it was really annoying. So you got this, you got your foam pad to stay on the ground. What do you use to stay warm? Some people would say use your sleeping bag, but because it's already closed off till this side, only here, there is not much moisture that can escape and evaporate. Because it will get wet from this side if you use conventional sleeping bags. One of my friends also used one of these, and his sleeping bag was wet, and if it's very cold, you don't want to get wet things. So I use what I always use, wool. And yeah, wool allows you to trap the moist and also stay warm, because wool insulates 80% of the heat, even though even if it gets soaking wet. So that's already a good thing. So what I sometimes did was use my great kilt, my woolen blanket, put it in like a little yeah, how do you say it, half of a tube. Then I'll roll out, roll back, roll in, roll back, and it was a few layers of wool on both sides of me that kept me warm. And I could, and it's also extra protection against the ground, cold from the ground. So wool was a very good option in that regard. But if I'm going on a bug out, which is a survival term, I want more multifunctionality than this. So what I would do is, and this is something that I did in the mountains in Norway, I used my my long coat. I will wear it now. So this was an improvised sleeping bag that I used. I don't know if you, I will do it like this so you can see it. So I've talked about all the good things about the long coat. I go into sweat today because it's very hot today, and I want to show you how hot it can get inside of this woolen coat. But this is the thing that I used in Norway to sleep in and to have to have less weight, and yet again have something to walk around when it's cold and put off when it's warm, and multifunctionality. So now, if you can see, now I'm fully dressed to the top of my boots. It's like an improvised sleeping bag. So what I also did in Norway was, I used in my survival bag, I used my balaclava. So now what I also did was put on some of my gloves that I have in my survival bag, and it's just like a human size sleeping bag now. If you can see it. So this is how I got into my sleeping bag, my bivi bag. I mean. So I don't know if you can see me, but I can see the camera very well from here, from the wire mesh. If you can see my tapping here, and I would say it's freaking warm in here, but I can breathe. And if it was winter, yeah, it's very warm in here. I'm protected from the ground, the cold, and my coat is staying. As long as I don't
move too much in my sleep. My coat is just staying in the right places to keep me warm. I keep my boots on. So yeah, it is a very good way. Oh, you can also go out in the front if you want. I'm going to open this one. It is a more harsh way to get out, but it is possible if one of your zippers gets stuck. It's not the most elegant thing, but it is possible to get out like this. And it is one of the things that annoys me a little bit about this, and that is because I use this. Oh, I'm going to take off my coat first because it's freaking warm in here. Ooh, hoorah! One of the tent poles that you can set up in a building just on the ground without using a tent herring is getting loose because I used it so much that it's a little bit, how to say this, a little bit, not, it's like a piece of scruffed off because of so much use on hard covers. And what you just have to do then is sometimes you have to file a little bit to the sides that it just stays in place again. But that's not really a big problem with this. Not with all the advantages. I'm going to close this off again. One thing I want to warn for if you're going to use this, you can see there is here a flap. You can close the flap here. It's not really that problem, especially if you put your bug out bag a little bit against it. But what I noticed is, and it was something that happened in the mountains in Norway, when I was sleeping, I positioned my back crosswise against the wind. So the wind came from this side. Problem was, the winds started to turn during the night. So the winds started to blow inside these ventilation holes and filled it up with ice cold air. That was kind of a problem, but yeah, eventually I moved it again in the more a little bit to the side so the wind didn't get in. But I fixed the problem a little bit more by putting my bug out back against it, so the holes were filled a little bit more. Or if you have the possibility, you can put a tent herring here, and it's more of a rain cover than protection against cold wind. But those are the things that you need to watch out for when you're going to set up camp. But like I said, if the wind started to blow, all I need to do was not even get out of the tent. I just had to wobble a little bit to the sides, and it was not really a problem. So another benefit of it is a low cover. If you want to do stealth camping or during a survival situation, you have a very low profile cover. In some most tents are a little bit like this, so it's a little bit higher, so it's a little bit harder for you to camp somewhere or to hike or sleep or seek shelter somewhere with this without being seen. But with this bivi bag, it's not really an issue because you're very low. It's a camouflage color that is not that really visible. Most tents are made out of visible colors like orange or even blue, and yeah, that's also something that I like. I would have preferred to use more Belgian colors to be more stealthy in my environments, and that is like khaki, something that I can use in the meadows. So yeah, that's the only thing that I don't like about it. And what you also can do is it protects against rain, but yeah, if the rain comes from it gets blown into the ventilation holes because of hard wind, could be a little bit annoying. So try to sit next to covers, some how do you say this, bushes or something that can stop the wind, or you can just set up a big tarp above it, and even then you're still more, and then it's even more dry. So that's also a good thing. And when there is danger, you can just take it off very quickly. Let's see how quickly you can set up. you can actually just take this and actually run away when there is a nearby danger, so that's also a very good thing. But if you just want to get away very quickly, just the reverse of what I did before of opening. It's a little bit slower, but I can show you how fast it is. What you also want to do is a little bit prepare work. Yeah, that's stupid of me. I forgot my foam pads being taken out. So yeah, even then it was a quick getaway with even the foam pad inside of it. I'm going to do this as quickly as I can. Just fold it up to the sides of the mat. You take your, how do you see this? Your tent poles, go to the side, always go to the side, to the back side, to push the air out, because otherwise it will not fit in your bag. If you're going to start from the front, all the air gets trapped inside of this, and that's very difficult to put it in back. So from here, just start rolling, 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 rolling on the river. Make sure you press every piece of air outside of it. And then the goop. There we go. Take it back. Put it in gently, but still firm. And that way your poles also don't get cracked if you hit a hard object or letting it drop, because it's protected by in the inside of this bivi tent. Oh. It's a little bit rushed, but still gets the job done. And there we go. You can put it now in your bug-out bag and you can start this all over again. So yeah, to my opinion, it's not the best, it's not the worst, and that is what I like, because excuse me, balance is key to life, and this is good in everything, but not the best at certain things. So yeah, it's not the worst, it's not the best, but it's the best, a little bit good on everything, and that is what I like about it. It's lightweight, does not take space, it's a quick setup, it's durable, protection from rain, keeps you warmer when it's very cold, and even when some certain things break, it's still functionable. So yeah, and you can repair it very easily. It's not difficult to set up, to learn, and it's not really that cheap. I think it was like 150 euros, which was a lot for this kind of things in my opinion, but I'm happy with it. I used it a lot, and yeah, it's perfect for what I envision for my bug-out plans. So if you get any tips, experiences with this that I have not mentioned in this video, please let it know in the comments. I'm always eager to learn. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and see you in the next video. Cheers!